Yeah, I don't really love you, but maybe we can find something to make you smell a little bit better. Good morning. Slightly different video today. I'm wearing the Essence Vault 431. Now, this is a clone of Dior Fahrenheit, which is a little bit of a divisive fragrance. Now, I said just a minute ago, I don't really like this fragrance, and I suppose that's partly true. It's not my favourite, I'll be honest. It's an old school fragrance. It's got a bit of violet leaf in there, and this kind of ozonic leather combination is a little bit strange, and it is definitely a masculine retro type fragrance. I don't hate it. I respect it. That's probably the thing I'd say. But I do feel like it's very hard to pull off these days. It's not one that smells like a modern fragrance. You know, you don't really see anyone or walk past anyone that's really wearing Dior Fahrenheit. But there are clones of it. So that says it does still have its place in perfumery, because they wouldn't clone unpopular scent if they weren't selling at all. It probably gives a lot of people nostalgia. There's a little bit more before my time, essentially. So my challenge today is, can I find something to help layer this to make it a bit more wearable? So what I'm going to do today on my workout, I'm going to pick two other fragrances to put on in combination with this one, see if I ever improve the smell of this fragrance, and then I'm going to do the same when I get back, walk to the gym, and just see if we can find something today that makes this smell maybe a little bit more wearable for everyone. So I'm someone, I said, I'm quite happy to wear divisive fragrances. I know most people though like their safe fragrances, those blue type fragrances as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray this fragrance on both arms. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And what's quite good with this is you can just see where I've put the oil on. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to quickly find two fragrances that I think might improve this scent, make it more wearable and more enjoyable during my workout today, and see if we do have a layering king in combination with the Essence Vault 431. So the first one I'm going to do today, I'm actually going to do another clone in combination with it. Now this is a really nice one. This is Noted Aromas Havana. It's a clone of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. So if you haven't smelled Tobacco Vanille before, it's obviously a tobacco spices sort of smell, but the main thing that sets this apart for me is that vanilla note. It is a lovely vanilla record. I must admit, the vanilla in this is nowhere near as good as the original, but it smells just like it. Once it's dried down a little bit, it's very good. So yeah, so what I'm kind of getting, if you haven't smelled, again, Dior Fahrenheit, it's almost to me like a watery leather. It's like you've tried to essentially water down this leathery smell. And it's got this kind of floral component. It's watery, floral, and then leather, which is a weird combination. People say it's kind of got this gasoline petrol vibe to it. I don't really get that. I do kind of know what they mean, but it does feel like a leather jacket type scent to me. So I'm going to spray this on my arm. And that's that one done. So Tobacco Vanille, just a lovely prominent vanilla scent. And I think we might as well go for a lush one today. Let's go zesty. So we're going to go for a vanillic one, so a nice sweet one, to a strong citrus one. And this is all about the lime in this fragrance. Lime and neroli, but it's certainly more fizzy than anything else. There we are. So I've got the fragrances just sitting on top. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting today to see how this one works. I'm actually going to just spray, because this is kind of the main selling point of it, 2 more sprays of the Dior Fahrenheit cone on my arm as well, just to get a real mix of layering there. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go out for a run, do maybe a couple of checkpoints on my run, see how it changes throughout, and yeah, I'll give my thoughts on whether citrus or whether vanilla can help improve this leathery ozonic vibe from Dior Fahrenheit clothes. So yeah, I'll see you out there. We are off. I think I'm going to need my fragrances to give me a hand today. I'm already out of breath. And yeah, it's chilly. It is very chilly, which means it's better for a day when you're wearing a Dior Fahrenheit and a Tobacco Vanille clone at the same time. So let's do a couple of checkpoints today. And let's smell that one first. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's the side where I've got Dior Fahrenheit, or the Essence Vault 431, and the Tobacco Vanille code, Noted Aromas Havana. And one thing you pick up straight away is they haven't particularly blended that well together. When you first put your nose on your arm, the first thing I can smell is that kind of violet leaf coming through from the Dior Fahrenheit. It's very strong, very prominent, and it's a huge kind of selling point of this fragrance. It's a, you know, it's a big part of why people buy it. But then the minute you start to draw your nose away, that vanilla's kicking through and it's very strong, very prominent. Do I think that violet and vanilla combination kind of works? I'm going to say yes, but no. And I kind of say that for a couple of reasons. Personally, do I think it improves the fragrance I want it to improve? Do I think it lightens up the Essence Full 431, the Fahrenheit clone? Yes, I do. And I think that makes it certainly more wearable, which I was hoping. But if you said to me, would that make Tobacco Vanille smell nicer, having that slight floral vanillic component alongside the violet, I'd definitely say no. So what I think is obviously the vanilla is making this smell better, but it doesn't need the violet to help it, whereas it feels like the violet in this definitely needs the vanilla more so. But it's definitely taken the edge off the leather, which is making it a little bit nicer for running, because I definitely don't want to run with a bit of leather on. So that is not too bad. What we'll do in a second, we'll try the other side, Lush Zesty and the Essence Full 431. Okay, citrus, violet and leather. How does that go together? So, okay, first things first. Again, you would have seen with the Lush atomizers, they are huge. They spray such a big spray, and there's no two ways about it. The lime here is very prominent, but what's quite interesting is it's not the violet I'm detecting on this side, it's more the leather, and it's a bit of a lime leather combination. And do I like that? No, to be honest with you, kind of what I'm getting at the moment is it almost feels like I'm wearing like a leather jacket and I've sprayed something over the top of it, almost to try and mask the fact I'm wearing leather. It's like if you've got a smelly bit of clothing and you know sometimes you think, oh, I'm not putting it in the wash, I'll just put a spray over the top of it and it kind of just mixes together. That's what I'm kind of getting here, and it's not particularly pleasant. It's not, it smells like rotten fruit, and I know that's really horrible to say, but it's like if you've gone to like a rainforest or a tropical area and the fruit's all rotten on the floor and you know it's been eaten by insects and ants. I don't like that. Definitely out of the two, the one thing I'm preferring, or the one I'm preferring, is that combination with the Tobacco Vanille. And it almost gives a little bit of a Gucci Guilty Absolute vibe, which actually I'm not minding. The leather's starting to come through on that side and the violet is wearing off, and that's definitely where I'm picking up those vibes. But very interesting, not what I expected at all. Neither feel like they've overly, blended that well yet. So we'll give it about an hour and we'll see if anything changes on the halfway point of my run. Okay, we are about 45 minutes away from home. I've done about an hour. It's time to do a bit of an update. Ooh, okay, it has changed. Okay, right, well this is interesting. This was not what I expected at all. Let me just smell that again. Okay, so on the Tobacco Vanille side, the vanilla is there, but it's definitely now taking a back seat. And what's most prominent is the Fahrenheit code. It feels like that leather's really coming through, and a bit of that ozonic vibe that's so prominent in this DNA is certainly there. And yeah, it's toned the vanilla down, which just was a bit of a shame, because I actually thought that vanilla opening with that leather in the back seat worked really well. And again, as I said, it reminded me a little bit of Gucci Guilty Absolute, and if you know that fragrance, I think it's an absolutely brilliant one. It's a stunner. But the other side just really smells like zesty, and there's not really too much else going through this one. It's pretty tame, to be honest with you. I still don't really like it though. There's a bit of like an inkiness in the background, and a fragrance I can liken this to is Acqua di Parma Mirror, which I never really liked. It was a bit balsamic, and it's definitely got that balsamic vibe, this as well. And I don't really like citrus and dark notes, particularly like leather notes that aren't sweet together. I think it's a weird combination, and yeah, I don't like it as much. I'll be honest with you, I don't think either have particularly improved the fragrance now. Now it's sat down a little bit. So I think when we get back, we're going to have to try a couple more. And I think we'll try a bit of coffee and a bit of chocolate, so we have a bit more of those gourmandy vibes again. And just see if anything at all can make these ones smell a little bit better. But yeah, so far I'm a bit underwhelmed. But then again, why would you layer these classic fragrances together? That's more on me than anything else. But yeah, looking forward to getting done. My ankle's still a bit sore at the minute. So yeah, when we get back, we'll get on with that layering. Okay, so all changed. Let's spray the Essence Vault 431, the Fahrenheit clone on both arms. And I said chocolate and coffee, didn't I? Now I've got to find where I put these fragrances. Cacao Squared by Maison Tahiti, super strong chocolate fragrance. Not the biggest fan of it, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I can smell it now. It's like a really, really bitter chocolate. So bitter and not very pleasant. It's just too aggressive on the cinnamon. It's just far too aggressive on the cinnamon. But Double Espresso by Fragrance World, a brilliant coffee scent. But again, very realistic. Almost could be confused with actually being coffee. So for that reason, I don't particularly wear it very often. It's very dark juice, as you see. What I'll do, walk to the gym now, pull my arms up in a minute after I've let that fragrance sit, and I'll give my thoughts on if it's a good layering for these two fragrances. It's time to smell my arms and see what we feel with this layering this time. So first of all with the chocolate. Oh wow, now that is my least favourite by an absolute mile. It's like perfume chocolate, and that's disgusting. It's almost got, and I don't know if it's because I'm walking by a field at the minute, it reminds me a bit of manure. It's like the smokiness from the leather and this floral component with chocolate. It gives off like this manure vibe. You know, like sometimes manure almost has a slight fruity sort of vibe to it as well, but you can still tell it's manure. It's like that. It's like sweet manure, and that is disgusting. It's like sweat as well. It's like sweaty socks, like greasy sweaty socks. It is one of the most vile combinations, I must admit. That spice with the florals coming from the cinnamon and Cacao Squared really does not work. Okay then, and the final one, we are mixing coffee with this Fahrenheit clone. Okay, that's interesting. That's funny because that reminds me of a fragrance. It's instantly come out to me exactly which one it is. And it's one my brother owned a number of years ago, and neither of us particularly liked it. And it's Ferragamo Uomo, and I think it's Casual Life. And it almost had this kind of fresh vibe to it, but with like this coffee background to it. And what I'd say is you're definitely picking up the ozonic vibes again from the Fahrenheit clone more than the leather, because this coffee is so roasted and it's quite smoky in its composition. It has overpowered that leather a little bit, so it almost feels like the leather's kind of gone into hiding. It's struggling to compete with it. But that one is the only one of the four, if I'm being honest with you, that actually smells like a fragrance state. All the others have smelled like a horrible mix of, a bit balsamic, bit sweaty, and better. Essentially every fragrance has been better in its own right than obviously in combination with this. But this one here, while I still don't love it, it means you could wear it still. I don't think this is one where anyone around you would be as offended, certainly not as offended as that cacao one I just tried. That's absolutely horrible. I'm going to have to wash that off before I go in the gym. And there we are, so a bit of a shorter one today, but have I found a fragrance of the 4 different notes I tried to layer with this Dior Fahrenheit clone? Did I find something that I've enjoyed more than if I just had the fragrance on its own? I'm going to be honest, no I haven't. I think, I'm going to say this, I'm going to give it some defence here. Do I really enjoy the smell of Dior Fahrenheit just based on this clone? No I don't. It doesn't particularly suit me. It's not one that I grew up with, so it's not really got any nostalgia or any scent memory for myself. And it's an alpha male scent. I can see if you're someone who likes those alpha male scents, absolutely great. But look, I am probably really boring. I'm like everyone else. I love my sweet gourmand fragrances. I like my boozy scents, but I do appreciate these differences that retro ones bring. And with retro fragrances, you do have an element of complexity and uniqueness, and that makes it very difficult to layer fragrances on top of these ones, because they just have something about them that have made them last the test of time. Those unique DNAs are the reason they're still around, and this one certainly has a unique DNA, even if it is a divisive fragrance at the same time. I still think I could use this one. Look, I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's bad by any stretch. I just think when you're someone who likes buying fragrances and you know what you like, and yeah, this one just feels a little bit too far removed from that for me. But there's other fragrances I think I can layer with this one that may make it better. I definitely think a boozy note might help this fragrance, and maybe an aquatic one, maybe a blue fragrance might just soften it and make that ozonic vibe in it a little bit more wearable, almost more like a beachy vibe, because the leather in this isn't really prominent, but it does give you that kind of, well, from what I've experienced today with the layering, this tangy undertone that I don't particularly like, and the mixing with chocolate certainly didn't work at all. So I think gourmand fragrances here, particularly those sweet gourmands that are more chocolatey, let's say, don't particularly work. But the vanilla did work okay, but again, I was just left feeling like I like tobacco vanille as it is, and yeah, I don't think it would be enough to make me think, oh yeah, I've got to buy this and layer it with that fragrance. But I'm sure we'll get through it in time, this Fahrenheit clone. But yeah, let me know if anyone's had any experience with Fahrenheit, or a clone of Fahrenheit, any compliments they've had, anything they've used to layer the fragrance with over time. And to be honest with you, more importantly, what situations you found it best use in. I'm really struggling to find when I'm going to use it, because I think I've got ones that I prefer for dressing up, because I don't think of ozonic fragrances for great for dressing up. But you're not going to wear this one overly casually either, because of the leather in it. I think it's one that smart casual office, but again, very much toning the sprays down. So yeah, share your thoughts below. I look forward to hearing them, and yeah, give me some more ideas of things I can layer with this fragrance.